From Studio 3B in Rockefeller Center, here is Stone Phillips.
It might make for an interesting experiment. What if you could develop a foolproof lie detector and carry it around with you all day? Who'd be caught telling lies? Your friends? Your family? Your boss? You? Well, tonight, as part of NBC's week-long series on dishonesty in America, a look at why so many people lie, cheat, and steal. You're going to meet a man who may be the closest thing there is to a portable lie detector. And perhaps he can show you what to look for to catch people lying to you. Here's Sarah James.
You can't hide your
lie, deceive,
misrepresent,
perjure,
defraud,
subterfuge,
dishonesty.
1,000 words describe a picture of a world where lying and deception seem to be everywhere, from notorious lies.
Are you therefore saying that you have not used that word in the past 10 years, Detective Furman?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
To monstrous lies.
I would like to say to whoever has my children.
To lies in the name of country.
I want you to know lying does not come easy to me.
But how can you tell if someone is lying? Is it as easy as this father cautions his son in the 1948 movie The Winslow Boy?
If you tell me a lie, I shall know it. Because a lie between you and me cannot be hidden.
Psychologist Paul Ekman thinks it's not so easy. Most people, he says, including judges, lawyers, police, and even FBI agents, are very poor at detecting lies. But Ekman's made a career of it. Can you tell when someone's lying?
I do about 80 to 90% accurate, if the stakes are high. And that's really important. It really has to matter to the liar whether they get caught or not.
So if the lie is trivial, all bets are off. But if the liar has something to gain by lying and a lot to lose if he's caught, Paul Ekman will usually catch him red-handed.
So you look for discrepancies, things that don't fit. The speech doesn't fit the voice doesn't fit with the face, the body movements don't fit with any one of them. There's no clue that works for everyone.
Take Susan Smith, the mother convicted of drowning her 2 sons.
My children are my life.
At first, there was no indication she was lying, but soon, says Ekman, the lie became too difficult to maintain.
Our lives have been torn apart by this tragic event.
You've seen enough. And there's no emotion going on here. She's trying to put some in her voice, but she's not succeeding. It's not in her face. There are no tears. Her face is totally flat.
I want to say to my babies that your mama loves you so much.
See, that was a just totally unbelievable performance. Just totally unbelievable. She's trying.
Besides evaluating general behavior, Dr. Ekman says that a good lie catcher must pay attention to specific emotional clues. Watch Cato Kalin's testimony in the O.J. Simpson trial.
Mr. Kalin, you got a lot of money for your appearance on Current Affair, didn't you?
Yes.
Notice anything unusual? Paul Ekman did.
Can you back that up? Oh, that's it. Now slowly forward. A little more. Okay. That's a micro-expression. That's his real feelings towards the prosecutor.
Anger.
Yeah.
Does not like.
Oh, it's not. Okay, it just comes out for a moment.
Yes.
Kalin is answering this question truthfully, but the micro-expression, says Ekman, raises a red flag about the line of questioning. And in the very next exchange...
You don't have a book proposal?
No.
Not true, according to revelations since the testimony. And listen to Kalin's voice.
You don't have any book proposals out?
No. Don't want to do a book.
A drop in voice level. One possible sign, says Ekman, of a lie.
And yet you seem to not recall anything about it except that you had sandwiches.
Having watched hours of John Poindexter's testimony during the Iran-Contra hearings, Paul Ekman knew that the former Reagan advisor's response to this question was out of character. The question was about what Poindexter remembered from a lunch he had with CIA Chief William Casey. First, a micro-expression.
There's the micro-expression. That's it. Okay, it's exasperated. Okay, now let's continue.
Certainly, based on the sequence of events, the conversation...
Then several swallows.
It must have been a very important...
Swallow.
Right there.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
And speech hesitations.
I think by that time, we
the speech hesitations
had provided the initial
Swallow it again.
Briefings to Congress, and as
Swallows again. Now he's going to take some water.
So how can you tell that he just doesn't have a little tickle in his throat? What makes you know that this is...
It's possible, but it wouldn't explain the speech hesitations, it wouldn't explain the exasperation.
Poindexter was found guilty of lying to Congress, but the conviction was later overturned because his congressional testimony was used improperly. As for that lunch, in all likelihood he wasn't telling all. It's not proof, says Ekman, but it's an area that requires further questioning.
What I would have said if I was there is, what's going on? What is it about the sandwiches and the lunch? What's upsetting you? Tell me more about it.
Would you be the world's most frightening customs inspector?
I suppose. This is where the experiment's going to occur.
Paul Ekman has trained customs officials in the art of lie catching and judges, lawyers, and police officers. He's built his technique on 25 years of research at the University of California in San Francisco. In one study, a subject had to lie or tell the truth about an opinion he held. A hidden camera recorded the interrogation.
Is this your true opinion?
Yes.
If the subject lied and fooled Dr. Ekman, he got $50. But remember, Paul Ekman can only catch a lie if the liar has something to lose. So the subject was told that if caught, he would be locked in this dark room for 2 hours and forced to listen to regular bursts of extremely loud noise.
And it's really quite unpleasant.
In the end, Ekman didn't carry out the punishment. Listen to this man talk about his opinion on smoking in public places.
What is your position on this issue?
I don't agree with it. I don't think they should ban it in public places.
Why do you believe that?
Well, I think smoking, like other rights in this country, are very important, and they should be upheld.
How long have you held this opinion?
Probably since I was about 17 when I started smoking.
Is this your true opinion?
Yes.
You didn't just make this up a few minutes ago?
No.
Are you lying to me now?
No.
Is he lying? We gathered some tourists who were visiting Midtown Manhattan, showed them the tape, and asked them. How many of you believe that he was telling the truth? That's 7 out of 10 who got it wrong.
All right, now here's what he does. And what a lot of people do when they're lying, they do a micro expression, but it's not on the face, it's in the body. And what he's doing is he's doing a micro version of a shrug.
A real shrug, says Paul Ekman, is not an indication of a lie, but a small one can be a very strong indicator.
When it occurs as leakage, betraying the fact they're lying, you see just a fragment of it.
I don't think they should ban it in public places, because I told the truth.
Second. So why should I believe you and not him? There it goes again.
7 micro shrugs in all, more than enough for Paul Ekman. So he didn't get the $50?
Nope, I got him.
You busted him.
I sit right here in the green chair.
In a similar setup, subjects could take $50 out of a briefcase or not. If they took it and got away with the lie, they got to keep it. Once again, watch this man's shoulders.
What were your thoughts? That is, what went through your mind when you looked into the briefcase?
Well, my thoughts were just...
Shrug?
There was a simple decision to be made. And,
3.
It made it even simpler
4.
for me.
5.
And then, according to Ekman, this liar practically confessed.
Did you bring that money with you into this room?
No, I did not.
And are you lying to me now?
No, I'm not.
He's being asked, are you lying to me right now? And he for a moment has to think about it. He shouldn't need to think about whether you're lying or not unless you are lying.
No, I'm not.
So he's a terrible liar. Almost everybody gets him.
Including our panel. This time, 7 out of 10 got it right.
I thought he was lying.
I believe he was lying. Definitely lying.
You think he's definitely
Definitely.
We showed the group another subject.
I saw the money, and I just closed the case, and that was it.
Notice the wrinkled forehead. Is that a sign?
Did you take that money from him?
He looked like a dishonest person, like not a trusting individual.
I thought he was telling the truth.
I think he was lying. I'm not 100% certain.
5 said he was lying. 5 said he was telling the truth.
Did you take that money from him?
But listen to his voice.
Did you bring that money with you into this room?
No.
It's getting softer. Remember, that's often a sign of a lie.
The center thing in the forehead being held the whole time, plus the voice getting lower and lower, softer and softer. That combination, says to me, he's in all likelihood lying. Are you lying to me now?
But in fact, he was lying.
And I found the wallet.
Now that you know some tricks of the trade, take a look at this subject.
And
nervous speech hesitations.
Well, I didn't do anything else. I haven't
shoulder shrugs.
Ever steal anything before, so I couldn't think of why I should do it now. I don't need it. I couldn't take the risk.
An easy one, you say? Clearly, she's lying, just like the others. But the truth is, she's telling the truth. Paul Ekman says she's the classic example of a misjudged truth teller because she's the kind of person who gets anxious when she's under scrutiny. Her shrugs, just honest denials. Her hesitations, just nerves.
So the person who's trying to catch the liar has to always consider, would this person, if they're being truthful, be afraid?
And, says Ekman, you can't be swayed by common misconceptions, like fidgeting fingers or not making eye contact.
For over 4 months, Watergate has dominated the news media.
Ekman is the first to admit that many lies, especially when they come in prepared statements, are tough to catch.
I had no prior knowledge of the Watergate break-in. I neither took part in nor knew about any of the subsequent cover-up activities. That was, and that is, the simple truth.
As America discovered, it was far from the truth. But not even Paul Ekman knew that Richard Nixon was lying back then.
We asked us, is everything okay? Yes.
How can someone be a better lie catcher? Ekman says you can start by remembering the 2 basic clues.
So it's signs of thinking that you shouldn't need to do, and signs of emotions that don't fit what you're saying.
And above all, give them a chance to reveal themselves.
They just got to be okay.
The more someone talks, the more likely it is they're going to make a mistake that you're going to be able to pick up on. Are you lying to me now?
No, I'm not.
Ekman also urges people to be a little more skeptical. He says liars often aren't caught because too many of us are ready to believe that others are telling us the truth.